Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan with your weekend weather update across New Zealand and Australia and the outlook for next week. Can you believe that May is almost here on Sunday? That's crazy. This year is going so fast. All right, let's get into the forecast. The high pressure zone over New Zealand, that is not moving very fast at the moment. While the year is moving very quickly, this is not. So this system is going to take a few more days into next week to really move away from New Zealand. In fact, it might still be with us for at least another week, but it will be centered out to our east. And that means the milder northerly flow will start to kick in after the cooler flow that we've had this week at the start of it. So the warmer weather comes in at the end. Over in Australia, we've got a bit of a change coming through. Low pressure down here in the Southern Ocean, fairly normal for this time of year to see storms all down here. And usually then one layer above that, you've got a protective layer of high pressure, which is exactly what we're seeing. And then another layer above that, you got low pressure. So that's what we're seeing for now. But as this high moves through, we're going to see low pressure filling up the subtropics to our north. So let's take a look at the accumulated rainfall this weekend. I haven't been using these maps for the last couple of days, but probably time to bring it back. So as you can see, New Zealand's looking mostly dry. There's no real rain here. Just a little bit of shower activity to the north. Maybe 5 millimeters worth of rain on Saturday. Maybe in some areas, just if you get a few showers. The heaviest rain up here around the tropical islands, and you can see this cold front coming in to Sydney. Falls apart, there's not much rain, talking about 10, 15, maybe 20 millimeters as that system comes through on Saturday. As we get into Sunday, most of that wet weather moves out to sea. Can still see some of it coming up the coastline. In the New Zealand area, we've got an easterly flow at the top of the country, which turns more of a northwesterly for the rest of New Zealand. So Sunday is going to be pretty mild, but a little bit windy down here in the South Island. And look at the windy westerlies, straight a line across the map there, over Tasmania and straight into the South Island. So next week looks like this. We've got low pressure forming to the north. La Nina is fading, but it may well fade back to a point where it feels also like it's hovering around, will it be still La Nina? So it fades away, and one of the things we're seeing, 1, 2, and a third area here forming of low pressure. So easterly winds, low pressure to our north, high pressure moving out to the east. It's starting to look more like a La Nina forecast as we kick off next week. So it's certainly mild next week. It's going to be warm around the New Zealand area for this time of the year. Tuesday, you can see these lows a little more clearly now. This one is not one for us to worry about, but these two here could be worth keeping an eye on, especially this one as it drops further into the Tasman Sea. This other one further out to the northeast probably won't be a problem for us, but it's worth keeping an eye on. It's certainly in our neighbourhood. And then our final map for Wednesday of next week, you can see what I mean. These two lows here are very well developed, and it looks as though this one will be just far enough away from New Zealand. This high down here is a guiding force for this low to the north and for the one forming out here in the Tasman Sea. But there's another high just off the screen here coming in from the Indian Ocean. So if this high comes in quickly, it could stop this low up here from really setting in. Either way, we've got a bit of a question mark towards the end of next week as we see this high finally roll away, and then we've got some low pressure in the New Zealand area to keep an eye on. But for the next 7 days ahead, most of New Zealand, other than Fiordland, leaning drier than average, but also warmer than average. Double-digit overnight lows next week for the lower South Island. That's not too bad for May. That is all from me. Thanks for putting up with our technical problems this week. Hopefully it's a little more improved than the way the week started off. We've got more improvements coming over the next week or two to further improve the sound and the picture quality. So thanks for bearing with us as we make some internal upgrades. Finally, before I go, Climate Watch, our next update, that is out on Monday, May the 2nd, probably in the afternoon or around lunchtime, and that will be covering off the weather trends for the month of May, but also taking a look at June and July, because winter is just around the corner. And for some parts of New Zealand, it doesn't really feel like autumn even really started. That's all from me. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.